My name is Zaid.
And I welcome you all warmly.
I hope each of you is fine, healthy, and in good spirits.
Today, we are going to step into one of the most fascinating chapters of human history, a story of a civilization that left behind mysterious temples, mathematical brilliance, and cosmic knowledge written in stone. Yes, we are talking about the Maya civilization. The Maya were not a single kingdom. They were a collection of powerful city-states spread across present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras,
And El Salvador.
Their culture flourished for more than 2,000 years, from around 2000 BCE until the arrival of Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century CE. Unlike many other ancient peoples, the Maya did not build one central empire. Instead, they built dozens of city-states, such as Tikal, Copán,
And Chichen Itza.
each had its own ruler, palaces, pyramids.
And marketplaces.
These cities often competed with one another, but they also shared a common language family, belief systems, and calendar traditions. One fascinating point is this: the Maya civilization was already advanced at a time when much of the world was still developing basic forms of writing. The Maya created a writing system called Glyphs, one of the most sophisticated in the ancient world. It was made of hundreds of symbols, each representing sounds or whole words. For centuries, their script was undecipherable. But thanks to the combined efforts of historians, archaeologists, and modern linguists, we now understand much of what they recorded. These glyphs appear on stone monuments,
On ceramics.
and even on surviving codices, folded bark paper books that survived destruction. Sadly, when the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, most Maya books were burned. Only a few original codices remain today, including the Dresden Codex, Madrid Codex, and Paris Codex. The Maya were not just artists and builders. They were skilled astronomers. They tracked the movements of the sun, the moon, and Venus with incredible precision. This knowledge was linked to their agricultural cycle, religious ceremonies, and political authority. Before we move to today's deeper insights, I want to say this clearly. This channel is user-friendly.
No offensive content. No misinformation.
We explain things with respect, curiosity, and authenticity. The Maya's story is not just about their monuments. It is about their ability to link nature, time, and human destiny into a system of knowledge that still amazes scientists today. The Maya are often remembered for their towering pyramids, but their architecture went far beyond stone monuments. Each city was carefully designed, with plazas, palaces, ball courts, and ceremonial temples. The placement of these buildings
Was not random.
it was often aligned with celestial events, such as the solstices or the rising of Venus. Take the city of Chichen Itza, for example. Its most famous pyramid, El Castillo, also called the Temple of Kukulkan, is a giant calendar carved in stone. Each side of the pyramid has 91 steps. When you add them together, plus the top platform,
You get 365.
the number of days in a solar year. Even more fascinating, twice a year during the equinox, shadows fall on the pyramid in such a way that a serpent-shaped illusion.
Seems to slither down the staircase.
This was not an accident. It was a brilliant fusion of astronomy, mathematics, and spiritual symbolism. The Maya cities were also alive with daily activity. Markets sold maize, beans, squash, cacao, and precious goods like jade and obsidian. Cacao beans themselves were sometimes used as currency, a system far ahead of its time. The Maya had no metal tools, no beasts of burden like horses or oxen,
And no wheeled vehicles.
yet they built massive cities and supported populations in the tens of thousands. This was possible thanks to their advanced agriculture. They developed terracing, irrigation, and even raised fields in swampy areas. Such innovations helped them adapt to challenging environments. Religion was deeply woven into every part of Maya life. They believed in a pantheon of gods, connected to the sun, rain, maize,
And the underworld.
Kings were seen as intermediaries between humans and the divine. Ceremonies often involved offerings, dances, and sometimes bloodletting rituals performed by nobles to honor the gods. One thing many people don't know is that the Maya were also passionate about a sacred ball game. It wasn't just sport, it carried religious and political meaning. The courts where these games were played can still be seen today, with stone rings mounted high on walls. The rules remain partly a mystery, but we know the games symbolized the cosmic struggle between light and darkness. As we dive deeper, we start to see how the Maya were not only skilled engineers and spiritual thinkers, but also masters of organization. Their society was structured, with nobles, scribes, artisans, traders, farmers,
and laborers,
each contributing to the growth of their world. The rise of these cities shows us something powerful. The Maya combined human effort, creativity, and respect for cosmic order into a system that sustained them for centuries. The brilliance of the Maya civilization was not only in its architecture and religion, but also in its science and mathematics. They were among the first cultures to develop the concept of zero, centuries before it appeared in Europe. This was not just a placeholder. It was a true mathematical zero, used in calculations of time and astronomy. Their number system was vigesimal, meaning it was based on 20 rather than 10. They used dots to represent ones, bars to represent fives, and a shell symbol for zero. With just these simple marks, they could perform complex calculations. This mathematical system allowed them to track astronomical cycles with stunning accuracy. The Maya were expert astronomers. From carefully observing the skies, they calculated the solar year to be about 365 to 420 days, very close to our modern figure. They tracked lunar cycles, the movements of Venus,
and even predicted solar eclipses.
Their Dresden Codex, one of the surviving Maya books, contains precise tables that chart Venus's orbit.
Over hundreds of years,
this cosmic knowledge was not abstract. It guided when to plant crops, when to hold festivals, and when rulers would perform ceremonies. It gave legitimacy to their kings, who were believed to be chosen
in harmony with the heavens.
Equally fascinating is their writing system. The Maya developed one of the most complex scripts in the pre-Columbian Americas. It combined logograms, symbols that represented words, with phonetic signs that represented sounds. This system allowed them to write historical records, mythology,
astronomical observations,
and even personal names. Stone monuments across Maya cities are filled with these glyphs. They recorded the births and deaths of rulers, important battles, alliances,
and rituals.
For a long time, these writings were a mystery. It was only in the 20th century that scholars began to unlock the code. Now we can read many of their inscriptions, which bring their world to life again. Yet, for all this knowledge and organization, the Maya civilization faced a dramatic decline. By the 9th century CE, many of their great cities in the southern lowlands were abandoned. Temples stood empty, fields went silent, and populations scattered. What caused this collapse? Scholars have suggested several reasons. Environmental changes, such as long droughts,
may have weakened their agriculture.
Warfare between rival city-states could have drained resources. Overpopulation and deforestation may have made the land fragile. It was likely not one single cause, but a combination of pressures that slowly unraveled their society. However, it is important to understand this. The Maya people did not disappear. Their descendants are still alive today, speaking Maya languages, keeping traditions, and practicing farming methods that link back to their ancestors. The civilization declined, but the culture survives. When we look at the Maya civilization today, we see not only ruins of stone cities, but also a living legacy. Across Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras, millions of people still identify as Maya. They speak over 30 Maya languages, preserve weaving traditions, and celebrate festivals that blend ancient customs with modern life. One striking legacy is their calendar system. The Maya used two main calendars. The Haab was a 365-day solar calendar, while the Tzolk'in was a 260-day ritual calendar. These two interlocked like gears, creating a calendar round that repeated every 52 years. For longer spans of time, they used the long count calendar, which tracked thousands of years. In 2012, the Maya calendar caught global attention when people misinterpreted it as predicting the end of the world. But in truth, the long count was simply ending one great cycle and beginning another. For the Maya, time was not about endings, but about renewal and continuity. Their art and architecture also continue to inspire. The stepped pyramids, intricate carvings, and celestial alignments show us a society that combined beauty with scientific precision. Archaeologists are still uncovering new sites hidden beneath jungle canopies, thanks to modern technologies like LiDAR scanning. These discoveries reveal that Maya cities were even larger and more interconnected than we once believed. The Maya also remind us of the fragility of human societies. Despite their brilliance, their cities fell to environmental stress
and internal conflicts.
It teaches us that progress and collapse can happen side by side, and that adaptation is the key to survival. But perhaps the greatest lesson of all is this: the Maya were never truly lost. Their descendants keep their languages alive, continue agricultural techniques like milpa farming, and preserve oral histories that link them directly to the builders of Tikal, Copán, and Chichen Itza. All the information we provide comes from verified historical sources, including books, records, and archaeology. Sources for this video include The Ancient Maya by Robert J. Scherer and Lower P. Traxler, Maya Civilization, A History from Beginning to End, Hourly History 2020, Linda Scala and David Friedel, A Forest of Kings, The Untold Story of the Ancient Maya, UNESCO World Heritage Center Records on Maya Sites, research published in Science and Nature journals on LiDAR surveys. So friends, if you found this journey into the Maya world insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Thrones of Knowledge, and be sure to press the bell icon so you get notified on time. Also suggest your next topic in the comments section, because your curiosity helps make our shared experience the very best it can be.